Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I've got for you today is going to make you smile, cry, blood shoot out of your eyes, because the state of Hawaii Supreme Court has ruled that there is no right for a Second Amendment. You don't have the right to keep and bear arms. The Heller decision was not correct. The Bruin decision was not correct. And in so doing, they have set themselves up to be a case among those they say doesn't matter. This is going to be a big thing, people. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And send this one out because you are watching history happen. Hawaii just jumped across the Rubicon, and they're about to make an example out of themselves yet again because gun controllers be gun controllers. So let's dive into the actual article that we're going to cover. Check this out. This is from Newsweek, and this is being looked at through the lens of ground.news/Langley, so ground news, right? Hawaii rejects Second Amendment interpretation in landmark decision. As you can see, it's rated mixed factuality, ranked to the center, and owned by media conglomerate. But look at what else is happening in the same article, same topic. Two people have covered it across the spectrum. It's that new. 50% center, 50% right. The factuality is right there and mixed, and ownership is none of independent sources available. You can even see the reload that made an appearance there. But let me show you a different coverage with more sources to show you the power of the Ground News application. For contrast, on ground.news, let's look at the Trump story, if he's going to be allowed to be elected or not, over the whole J6 thing. It's been covered by more than 100 sources so far, including 34% that are on the left and only 13% on the right. If you look at the headline construction, PBS used the word landmark, while Newsweek uses the different positioning of the Supreme Court. Go to ground.news/Langley and you can subscribe for less than $1 a month, 30% off the unlimited access through the Vantage subscription. But my brothers and sisters, we've got to dive into this because, like I said in the introduction, you are literally witnessing another landmark case that the Supreme Court's going to have to take up. There's no way they can't, because the SCOTUS of the state of Hawaii is slapping them right in the face, knocking them on the ground, rubbing their face in the dirt a little bit, and saying, y'all are stupid, nanny nanny boo boo, because hashtag Hawaii. I'm not exaggerating. Hawaii rejects Second Amendment interpretation in landmark decision. Okay, well, before we dive too deep into that, as they rejected the Second Amendment in a landmark decision, let me show you what the federal Constitution was adopted in Hawaii. The Constitution of the United States of America is adopted on behalf of the people of the state of Hawaii. Well, that's weird, because the Second Amendment, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, that would be in there. But maybe they're thinking, guys, because it's a state, the federal Constitution doesn't apply to a state. Maybe that's the leftist logic for gun control we're talking about. Well, no. Here's the Hawaii State Constitution, Section 17. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That sounds oddly familiar. I don't know where. You guys can let me know in the comments what that sounds like. But so we've got federal constitution adopted, and we've got their own version of the Second Amendment in the state Constitution of Hawaii. That's two. Well, the Supreme Court didn't just stop there. Listen to what they did and what they said, particularly on the Heller decision and the Bruin decision. This is an example of a rogue court. There's no way that the SCOTUS accepts this. Check this out. The Supreme Court of Hawaii has ruled a man can be prosecuted for carrying a gun in public without a permit in the state, overturning a lower court ruling that concluded this would violate his rights under the Second Amendment. Well, it's important how they got there. Listen to this. The state Supreme Court concluded, quote, "We reject Wilson's constitutional challenges. Conventional interpretive modalities and Hawaii's historical tradition of firearm regulation rule out an individual right to keep and bear arms under the Hawaii Constitution. In Hawaii, there is no state constitutional right to carry a firearm in public." Okay. So now we're just going to throw the Heller decisions out the window. Just, doesn't matter, doesn't count. I don't like it, so therefore. Conventional interpretive modalities and Hawaii's historical tradition of firearm regulation rule out the individual right to keep and bear arms under the Hawaii Constitution. It's exactly the same as the federal Constitution. The Heller decision literally says it's an independent right, and it is from 2005, I believe, if memory serves. I might be fuzzy on the date, but I know for a fact it says the individual's right is the right, not a collective right. Which the left has done. So they're really hashing up some old arguments here, but the stupid did not stop there. Check this out. In its judgment, the Hawaii Supreme Court said that the Second Amendment uses military-tinged language, and a well-regulated militia and bear arms to limit the use of deadly weapons to a military purpose. Okay, this is an old, drummed-up point where they're saying it belongs to the militia, and the militia is not the people, it's the state government or the federal government. It's not the people, it's militia, military-tinged language. This is such mental massaging to get to the end destination of gun control. This is what I say all the time. I've said it on this channel, and I've said it on Second Legacy with Tim. They quite literally they have arrived at an end destination and then they work backwards. That is not how this works. They have a predetermined outcome that they want, and then they come up with stuff like this. This is well-known historical acceptance of the Heller decision. Even the left accepts the Heller decision. It's fact. But they're just saying, no, it's military ownage, and all that was dumb and stupid, and Heller's stupid. They didn't just stop there. Let's continue. The court said, quote, in contrast, there are no words that mention a personal right to possess lethal weapons in public places for possible self-defense. Keep and bear arms. So at the same time that they're saying the Heller decision didn't count and you don't have the individual right to own a firearm, they're also saying because you have the individual right to own a firearm, that means you can't have the right to bear that firearm. They're contradicting themselves in the same sentence. But again, that's not all that they've done. This is going to be a big deal down the road because they jumped the shark hard on this one. Posting on X, formerly Twitter, Costas Moore, an attorney who works with the California Rifle and Pistol Association, opposed this view. He wrote, quote, Hawaii's Supreme Court rehashes tired collective right arguments, which the Supreme Court has expressly rejected, and overwhelming amounts of historical evidence confirmed to be false. He is correct. Listen to the second part. The Hawaii Supreme Court referenced the island's history as an independent kingdom, as well as dramatic improvement in firearm capacity since the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791. To justify its ruling, it wrote, quote, we believe it is a misplaced view to think that today's public safety laws must look like laws passed long ago. Translation, Bruin decision is wrong. We do what we want because hashtag Hawaii used to be an independent kingdom. What? So now you're just going from the sovereignty movement. Okay, this makes sense. So the Bruin decision is just bad. And since technology has progressed since the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791, it doesn't apply anymore. Okay, try that with the First Amendment. Technology has improved since quill pen and the printing press. So the First Amendment doesn't apply anymore because Twitter, no one could have foreseen the distribution abilities of Twitter. Understand how stupid this is. This has the potential to be either struck down so quickly by the Supreme Court or make another landmark decision, which is going to be counted in the along with the Miller decision, along with the Heller decision, and along with the Bruin decision. Maybe we'll have the Wilson decision thrown in there as well, because they've gone too far, and they are not only inflicting pain upon the federal Constitution, the Heller decision, Supreme Court, Bruin decision, Supreme Court, and also the state constitution of Hawaii. It's quite possible that because of these actions right here that happened yesterday, they may actually undermine Illinois, California, New Jersey, and New York in their ability to infringe upon the state constitutions. This is a big deal, people. And lastly, this part you just need to hear because this is the state Supreme Court of Hawaii. The court said, quote, as the world turns, it makes no sense for contemporary society to pledge allegiance to the founding eras, culture, realities, laws, and understanding of the Constitution. This was followed by a quote from the hit HBO show The Wire stating, quote, the thing about the old days, they the old days. Okay, so effectively what the state Supreme Court in Hawaii just said is, yeah, those rights were ratified back then, but those were the old days. It's a different world now. Those rights don't really apply now because it's a different world. Imagine that with your First Amendment, with all of the articles of the Bill of Rights, with all the rights in that Bill of Rights. Every single one of them, oh, those are the old days. Those are things that are from a bygone era. It does not matter anymore because it's a modern society now. This is the slippery slope to tyranny because that's exactly the same language that we used in Germany in the 20th century, Russia, 20th century, China, 20th century. All of these things and this level of thinking and this discard the past because the future is the present, that is quite literally has quite literally led to hundreds of millions of dead in 100 years at the hands of their own governments. This is some dangerous stuff, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.